The secret experiments that led to Wi-Fi, from Torpedoes to ALOHAnet to CSIRO. You use it every single day, at home, at work, on the train, even 30,000 feet in the air. But Wi-Fi's origin story is nothing like the modern convenience we take for granted. It's a tale of wartime inventions, forgotten patents, tropical island experiments, and a quiet group of engineers in Australia who cracked one of the hardest problems in radio. Today, we're uncovering the strange, surprising, and sometimes secret experiments that made wireless internet possible. The roadmap. The path to Wi-Fi runs through three revolutionary breakthroughs. Number 1. The spread spectrum and frequency hopping ideas born in World War II, a technology designed to outsmart torpedo jamming. Number 2. The pioneering packet radio experiments of the late 1960s and early 70s, especially a Hawaiian project called ALOHAnet. Number 3. The 1990s engineering triumph that turned theory into something you could actually use in a busy office or crowded home. We'll meet the inventors, explore their experiments, and see exactly how these scattered ideas fused into the Wi-Fi we rely on today. Phase 1. A Hollywood star's secret weapon, 1941. In 1941, Hollywood actress Hedy Lamarr, known for her beauty on screen, teamed up with avant-garde composer George Antheil. Together, they designed a secret communication system that would guide radio-controlled torpedoes without being jammed by the enemy. Their method? Frequency hopping. Instead of sending a radio signal on one frequency, they'd rapidly switch among dozens, following a synchronized pattern. Imagine two dancers changing steps in perfect unison. Anyone trying to interfere would be hopelessly out of sync. It was brilliant. Their patent, US Patent 2,292,387, wouldn't be used in World War II, but the underlying principle became the backbone of secure communications. Decades later, spread spectrum techniques would power Bluetooth, GPS, and yes, Wi-Fi. Why it matters? Spread spectrum techniques protect signals from interference and eavesdropping. The same idea later enabled cellular networks, Bluetooth, and helped make radio channels more reliable. Phase 2. Spread spectrum grows up, 1950s–1970s. After the war, spread spectrum became a military darling. The US Navy, Air Force, and NASA explored it for secure communications, satellite links, and anti-jamming systems. By the late 1960s, engineers had refined the math, allowing multiple users to share the same chunk of spectrum without stepping on each other's signals. While Lamarr and Antheil never made a dime, their core idea quietly evolved into a set of technologies that would one day spill over into civilian life. Why it matters? By the 1960s, spread spectrum ideas were part of secure military communications and later formed building blocks for civilian wireless. Phase 3. The Hawaiian Island Experiment, 1971. ALOHAnet, the island experiment that taught networks how to share airwaves. In June 1971, halfway across the Pacific, researchers at the University of Hawaii faced a problem: how to connect terminals on different islands without laying undersea cables. The answer became ALOHAnet, the world's first public wireless packet data network. The genius was in how it handled chaos. Any terminal could send data whenever it wanted. If two packets collided, they'd simply be retransmitted. This Aloha protocol was elegant and simple, and it directly inspired Ethernet and Wi-Fi's own collision avoidance method, CSMA/CA. The lesson? Wireless doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to recover quickly. Why it matters? ALOHAnet introduced the world to the idea that data could be sent in packets, collide, and be retried, an idea that would directly inspire Ethernet and wireless LAN media access methods like CSMA/CA in Wi-Fi. If you are enjoying this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Phase 4, Packet Radio and AMP, DARPA's wireless experiments, 1970s–1980s. Meanwhile, DARPA was funding packet radio networks where small, battery-powered radios formed ad hoc topologies. They learned how to route signals over multiple hops, adapt to moving nodes, and manage limited spectrum. These were the wireless cousins of the ARPANET, the direct ancestor of today's Internet. By the 1980s, researchers could link mobile computers wirelessly over several kilometers, paving the way for modern mobile networking. Why it matters? Packet radio work transferred lessons from wired ARPANET to wireless environments: how to route, how to handle mobility, and how to manage shared spectrum. Phase 5, the Australian breakthrough, 1990s. Theory was great, but real buildings were nightmares. Radio signals bounce off walls, floors, and ceilings, arriving at slightly different times. This multipath interference scrambled data and wrecked performance. In the early 1990s, an Australian CSIRO team, originally working on radio astronomy, developed a way to untangle these echoes using advanced signal processing. Their patented techniques allowed Wi-Fi to deliver Ethernet-like speeds, even in echo-heavy environments. These CSIRO patents became so valuable that years later, the organization won over $400 million in licensing deals from companies around the world. Why it matters? These practical engineering advances, turning packet radio and spread spectrum theory into products that work in homes and offices, were the final push that made Wi-Fi ubiquitous. Phase 6, the birth of Wi-Fi standards, 1997. By 1997, the IEEE released the 802.11 standard, the rulebook that ensured devices from different brands could talk to each other. Vic Hayes, often called the father of Wi-Fi, chaired the group that brought together the Aloha protocol, packet radio lessons, spread spectrum robustness, and CSIRO's multipath fixes into one standard. This helped turn scattered experiments into a compatible ecosystem of chips, access points, and clients. 2 years later, 802.11b arrived, making Wi-Fi fast and cheap enough for coffee shops and homes. Why standards mattered? Standards let different companies build interoperable gear. Paired with CSIRO-era signal processing and the Aloha packet radio ideas, 802.11 made consumer Wi-Fi possible. Phase 7, the chain of innovation. To recap the lineage, here's how those experiments stacked up into the Wi-Fi you use now. Hedy Lamarr, Antheil, 1941, introduced spread spectrum and frequency hopping, resilience and AMP, security. ALOHAnet, 1971, introduced packetized wireless networking and random access channel sharing. DARPA packet radio, 1970s to 1980s, developed routing, mobility, and medium access techniques. CSIRO, 1990s, solved multipath and made wireless speeds practical. IEEE 802.11, 1997 plus, standardized the ecosystem so products could interoperate. Each step built on the last, turning wartime secrecy into your Netflix binge. There are surprising twists and legal ownership notes. Historical twists. Hedy Lamarr's patent expired long before consumer Wi-Fi existed, and her name was only later celebrated for technological influence. CSIRO's patents led to long legal and licensing debates as Wi-Fi hardware spread, a reminder that inventions and markets don't always move together. To wrap it up, the next time you log onto Wi-Fi, remember, it's a blend of Hollywood creativity, island ingenuity, defense research, and Aussie engineering. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because we've got more tech origin and untold tech stories coming your way.